I did not want to fix this pulley myself. Marauders, welcome back to the channel. What do I have to fix today? Last 2 weeks I've replaced an oven, a dishwasher, brakes on the trailer, and now which one of these vehicles do I have to fix? Bam, the mower. One of the pulleys on this has seized up, and I have one on being held at a dealership. It's the day before the 4th of July. They're closing at noon, and I want to see if I can get this off before it's 10 o'clock. I want to see if I can get it off and get to the dealer and replace it before they close. They're holding it for me. So let's get to work on this. On the belly of the beast. This pulley, you can see, has failed. So I may have to take the tension off the pulley. Is it the same size nut that's on that? Might have to take the belt off too, and you can see I started to smoke this belt. Not happy. Okay, let's see what we can do. So let's see if I can relieve the pressure on this belt off the idler pulley. And then let's see if I can... Oh boy, is that on there tight. Oh man. Did I look out? Did I look out? Oh mama! And away we go. That was a win. That was easy. All right, off to the dealership to get the part. So this belt is in pretty rough shape. It did smoke. It's got a groove on the bottom of it, and I have to change it. To change it, I have to remove this upper belt that's on the left side. It's a longer belt, and I'm going to try just to remove the upper belt from the drive shaft, which is in very good shape, the upper belt. So I'm going to try to take the slack off this pulley, the tension cog, and lift the belt off the center blade pulley. Oh man, life is good. Holy cow, life is good. I gotta do this again. Hopefully this belt will feed underneath this pulley. So let's move this over here and stretch the spring out. Oh man, oh man. Life is getting good. Did I do this the wrong way? Well, this is going to be a process, I can see. Oh man, maybe I gotta pull it off on this side. Okay. Oh, I think I gotta pull this off. That's what I have to do to change it. Woo, baby! See the grooves? Well, it looks like this was a good decision to pull this belt. Pretty chunked up. Okay, new pulley. And obviously the bearing seized up on the old one. There's a bearing. Loving that. Bam. I think we want to get it around this first. Beauteous. I hope you saw that. Well, this belt seems big now, I know why. Slipped under here. Not good. The bam. Bam. Ooh, this is not going to be easy. So I'm going to reattach this by slipping that under the pulley. So I'm going to reattach the spring. I'm going to slip the belt underneath the idler pulley. And I'm going to have to prop you up to get this. So I want to pull it tight enough. There. And that was like that. Oh, the belt has got to squeeze under that pulley. Woohoo! Mama! Okay, we're cooking with gas. Don't tell the New York State governor that. All right, we got that on. Now I got to reattach this belt. Came off over on the other side. That's not good. Ooh, that's a long belt. Holy mackerel. Look how long this belt is. I think this is the $100 belt. Wraps around and goes all the way to the back pulley. And it seems to be on. Okay, I think we should fire it up. And I think we should fire it up and see how it works. Sweating, huh? That's a win. That was not that hard to do. And I have a short, take this out in the sunlight, see if you can see it. That pulley failed, that bearing locked up, the top half of the pulley actually came off. They needed to keep the pulley to submit for warranty. You can see how it burned up the belt and smoked it. That bearing was going for a long time and I wasn't thinking. Many times, I'll give you the truth, guys. I ignore the symptoms and it was making a clanking sound underneath the deck. I thought it was the rear roller, but that rear roller makes noise. That pulley might have been going for well over a year. Now you can see I turned it on. There's no sound of anything coming from the deck, clanking or grinding. It's very smooth. You got a better view than I did on it. I've been asked in the comments how I raise the deck or how I change the blades on my Ferris. What do I use to jack it up? And I'll show that to you now. First thing, I put the deck in the highest position. That's number one. Because of the way the wheels were set, I couldn't get this jack underneath the mower deck. I jacked it up, orientated the wheels where I could get the jack between this wheel and this scuff roller. And I jacked it up on the deck. And I have 2 jack stands for safety to support it. But once I got this in the air, I noticed that this wheel is not turning well. And I'm debating if I should fix this. I'm not happy. So let me see what I can do. And I just think that should move better than what it does. And these are not greasable bearings. Oh, that's not going well. You can see I got the cap off. Pretty tight fit on that cap. And there's no oil or grease in there. And you can see, I just think that moves too hard. I'm gonna try to back that nut off just a little bit. This is gonna be a wrestling match, I can see that. Backing it off will ease how that spins. And there is no grease fitting. There is no grease fitting on the nut. Much better. Much better. Okay, so now, so you can see how that spins. Almost as easily as that one. Let me try putting some 3-in-1 oil down there. Probably motor oil would do just as well, but let's see what we have. I'm sorry, WD-40. Let's try a little WD-40. Much better, I think. Now, remember, I'm wondering why my lawn sometimes gets scuffed. Those rear wheels are pushing against this caster that isn't moving very freely. And look at the WD-40 I sprayed in there, and it hasn't made its way down to the bottom. I don't know whether this is good or bad for the bearings, but it's better than nothing. And will help. I think it pushes moisture out. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Much better than what it was. And I'd say it spins as good as the other one. All right, that problem's fixed. So look at how it spins now. And all I did was loosen that cap and shoot some oil down in there. Now I'm gonna seal it back up. I wonder if that's part of the problem I have with this mower is scuffing, is because it was fighting this one spindle. Sometimes it pays to do this work yourself because you'll see things, you know, I don't know if another mechanic would have noticed that, done anything about it. So again, my Craftsman 3/4-inch drive socket that I bought when I was 16, 18 years old, I'm going to use it to tap on this cap. And this one does have grease in it. If you can see that, a little grease. But I'm gonna hit it with some WD-40. I'm gonna hit it with something. And this one obviously spins so much better. This one is about the same. So I'm not gonna loosen it. And I'll put the cap back on. Boy, this one moves even better now. Okay. So let's get this on. Okay, very good. This was the one that was seized, and I had to take it to the dealership. I could not get it on. They put grease on it. I'm going to try putting anti-seize paste on it. Especially the center one is always the hardest. Okay. Now I'm using the Milwaukee 4-inch grinder, I believe it is, M18. And I'm going to try, I've never used this method. I'm using, I think this is 60 grit disc sandpaper. And I'm going to try to just put a better edge on this blade. Give you a look before. This one isn't bad at all. That was 12 strokes, and I think it did a great job. Let's flip it around. Man, it's much easier than grinding. Holy cow, a lot easier. So I didn't show it the camera. I turned it off instead of turning it on. I put anti-seize on the threads. The two that I did with anti-seize came out very well. I had one seize up on me last spring that I had to bring it back to the dealership. I could not get it out. They don't like anti-seize, they use grease. I'm gonna put anti-seize on all of them, and I'm gonna try to stick with that. And then the sharpest blade is gonna go on the trimming side, not on the shoot side. I have the impact on my lowest impact setting. So it's on the #1 setting, and that's all I put them on. No tighter than that. No, I don't know the torque specifications to these. Okay. So I'm going to take my jack stands out. Let's drop the jack. Release the safety on the jack. Okay, deck is down, and that's it. Let's see how she runs. Ferrises don't like to idle when they're cold. I drop the idle all the way down. So, big difference. The steering is a lot more sensitive, and my brother just bought a brand new Ferris 3300 with a 40 horsepower Vanguard Briggs engine, and I think he should check his front spindles to see if they move freely. But that's a big improvement on the sensitivity of the steering. That's it. Let's see how she cuts. My fuel mileage hasn't been the best, so I've looked over the engine, pretty much everything. I haven't checked the air filter in a while. Let's take a look. That should be an improvement. And her filter is really good. I love that Harley chuck. This is a fuel injected motor, so I did add some fuel injector cleaner into it. I put the blades on backwards. I don't believe it. been raining. We had, May was a drought, maybe the end of May, June, most of June was a drought. And then for the last week and a half, it's been raining. And I'm not getting anywhere near this creek. I can feel the rear end of the machine sliding out a little bit. But I wanted to give you a shot of these VersaTurf. I do think on my property, especially where it's muddy and there's some other areas, that the VersaTurf tires really do make a difference. Now my brother just bought the new version of this machine, 40 horsepower, and he's very flat. He has a dry lot, and he says, he's a tractor guy, John Deere 1025R, tractor time with Tim, right? So he really wants to put the VersaTurfs on his Ferris. I really don't think he needs it for his lot, but for my lot, they do make a difference. I'll show you an area out. Again, over here, you know, wet along. I did mow this, but again, the traction, a little bit of off camera, is really phenomenal. It does tear up my lawn around these trees doing the short circles, but this is my woods and my property, and it's just something I gotta live with. Where I slid into the creek is almost the same condition, and either a big fish or turtle. Oh, it's a big fish, I think. Let's get a little closer. Holy, oh my God, it's a huge fish. What the heck is that? That thing is huge. I think that thing's 3 feet long. So that's where this machine went in the creek, and it's the same conditions today. It rained for about a week that fall, and I actually was driving along, and I thought, well, should I be this close? And the rear end just slid out from behind me. I went in rear end first on the machine, just happened to kill the mower decks, and so I'm staying away from it. That fish was 3 feet long. Holy, I thought the heron ate all the fish out of the pond. Marauders, so remember, this isn't a do-it-yourself channel, or when I do a video like I did on the Ferris, I'm not trying to tell you how to maintain your machine or how to fix it. Just you're watching me, the same age as many of you out there, just trying to take care of my property and how I do things well or I struggle through them. That's what you're seeing on my channel. I show this Ferris ISX 3300 no love whatsoever. None. I don't really wash it a lot. Maybe once a month I'll rinse it off. I blow it off. I am utterly impressed with this machine. I couldn't recommend it more. And my brother is a John Deere guy, and he went out and bought one. I've had this over 3 years. He went out and bought the new version of this, which is 40 horsepower. He just loves it. He bought the predecessor to this machine that was maybe 6 years old. He had it 1 week and then bought the Ferris, the newer version, later. He wanted the best, and that's what he did. This is a commercial mower. I mow about 3.5 acres to 4 acres, probably closer to 4. When I do the island, I'm closer to 4.25 acres when I do the island. I'm almost ready to go over on the island. This machine, it's a 3300 Ferris, full suspension, the deluxe seat, and it has a 37 horsepower Briggs & Stratton Vanguard engine, which I think is outstanding. I did not want to fix this pulley myself. I thought, you know what, that could be seized up, bending up and down on my knee. I'm going to send it to a dealer. And then I said, what the heck? I'm going to see if I can find the part. I found the part online for $26. I went to call dealers this morning, the day before the 4th of July, and one that I may buy a tractor from in Alexander had the pulley, and he said $46. And I thought, you know what, support your local businessman. He has it. I went out there, and he had the pulley, saved it for me. It was on the counter. Told him I needed the belt. He found the belt for me on the right-hand side of the engine. He said, I didn't even buy my machine there. He said, how old is your machine? And I said, 3 years old. He said, that's still under warranty. Get this. That's still under warranty. When you get home, send me your serial number. You don't have to pay a thing for it. And I'll give you the parts and the belt for nothing. I'll put a warranty claim for it. What the heck? Was that outstanding? So I said, I got to buy something for you. I bought the oil change kit from him, and they're about 40 minutes away from me, 35 minutes away. I bought the oil change kit that was $100 with the filter. I'm going to buy the hydraulic fluid from him when he has it. And man, so this change cost me nothing for the belt and pulley. So much for buying a new machine. I think there might be a 4-year warranty on it. I should look it up. So hats off to Alexander Equipment in Alexander, New York, and their parts man Ken. When I got home, I took a picture of the serial number or the serial number plate and texted it to him. And I show this machine no love. It has over 140 hours. I pound out 4 acres once a week, sometimes twice a week. Let it get covered in mud. This is a drawback from the tires, VersaTurf tires, as they fling mud up out of the tread on you. I cut this after a week and a half of rain. It was raining, sun shower while I was cutting it. And is this just beautiful? And I cut the people who treat my lawn. Man, my hair is a mess. The people who treat my lawn, the guy that treats it, Dennis, I think is his name, he told me to cut my grass 4 inches tall because I don't have an irrigation system. And I have to tell you, man, I will cut it 4 inches tall for the rest of my life, because even during the drought, it got a little brown in areas, but it survived the drought very much. And you know, the heavy equipment that I run, you can see it, glimpse of it over there, across along the track equipment, and it's held up great. I think this Ferris mower, with its suspension, with the Briggs & Stratton Vanguard engine, I think it's number one. I show it no love. I put gas in it, I change the oil, I grease it, I burn up a pulley on it, and which I should have known. I think that's been going bad for a year. Should have thought a little more. I would recommend it to anyone. I'd say it's at the top of the list. Top of the list. Maybe Skag, and I know Skag is a great commercial mower, but for ride, you can't beat this Ferris, this suspension. It's amazing in the Briggs & Stratton engine. And not that I'm starting to become a fan of Kubota. The Kubota diesel, I've had my eye on that, but most of my property is very rough. You know, much of it is in the woods, and it's not graded, and this suspension has just proven itself. So hats off to Ferris, guys. It's made in New York State. I can't remember the city. It's maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours from here. Turning Stone. I think Ferris is in Turning Stone. And the Briggs engines, I think, are made in Texas. They have a couple of videos on it. Highly recommend it. And by the way, the reason I didn't send this to a dealer was I thought to myself, I tell young people all the time on my videos, get tools, get your own tools so you can be somewhat self-reliant to turn a wrench on your machine when something goes wrong. You've seen me win and fail when I try it. The dealer is always there as a backup. And doggone it, I did it. My knee was probably the worst thing about it, but I'm happy I did it, and it was not hard to fix. I don't usually watch videos on how to do things. I did read the manual to identify that pulley so I could tell the parts guy, and I did read in the manual how to relieve the pressure on the sprocket on the can't remember what it's called, the idler pulley, on how to do it, and the manual was excellent. So big fan of the Ferris. This is how I usually leave it. The VersaTurf tires, throw mud all over it. This chute, my brother said, oh, there's a better chute than that. I like it. It seems to work. Still good clippings in my did not get the air near the edge of that pond. Marauders, thank you. Thank you, all of you. I wish all of you good health, and have a great 4th of July or Flag Day, wherever you are in the world. For us, it's the 4th of July. And thank you very much for tuning in the channel. I hope to see you on the trail. And thanks for joining me for this video. Sorry if it went a little long. I bought this thing, a deck level that Ferris has. Their dealers, I don't know if it's a Ferris deck level, a little measuring tool to level through your deck. That's so important also. I think I got it spot on, left to right. The front end is just a little low. So she's cut. Mud.